Hi everyone. Dementia units are very stressful places. There's both the inner stress of memory blanks and mental spin, and the outer stress of disturbing behaviour and noise. Dementia units are very noisy places, and there's always just disturbing behaviour that goes on. So it's very hard for the person to be able to relax, and relaxation is needed to be able to settle dementia stress. If you've got any chance at all of settling dementia stress, you absolutely need relaxation. But there is one item that does help. The all favourite item, which everyone has coming from a home or retirement village or wherever they've lived, that has beautiful past memories associated with it, that's fit for purpose, which is comfortable, and it's the all favourite armchair. That is most important, because it's the armchair, the all favourite armchair, which the person has had often lifelong, or at least the last 20, 30 years, where it's moulded to their shape, where it's a good height for them to get out of, where the arms are just the right position, where they've curled up and slept and sat and watched TV, and all those memories, those positive, relaxing, calming memories from being in their beautiful armchair is associated with that wonderful item. So that is why it's so important to bring in the all favourite armchair to a dementia unit, because please don't rely on the standardised, customised armchair that will be in the room. They're all uncomfortable. And even if they're suitable for some people, they're not going to be suitable for all people. I mean, one armchair is not a fit for all situation. It's like giving the same pair of shoes to everyone and expecting them to fit. Armchair's the same. It has to be fit for purpose. If it's a tall person, the legs have to be higher and the width of the base longer and wider also to accommodate, a bigger person. So the fit for purpose armchair is generally the all favourite armchair that person has had at home and enjoyed. And it's the memories with it as well that really garner stability for the person, actually. One thing. Second thing is, you really can't relax unless you're comfortable. I mean, try relaxing in an uncomfortable chair, straight back, poor quality armrests that you can't rest your arms on, uncomfortable material. It's just not possible. You feel ill at ease when you're in an uncomfortable armchair. But when you're in your favourite armchair, oh yes, put on the heater, sit back, rug over the knees, and you're fine. So that's why it's really important to bring in the favourite armchair. An example of this that really worked at one of the dementia facilities I worked at, one of the men there was a former policeman, tall, broad-shouldered man, must have been about 6'1" or 6'2", and still carried himself well when he came into the unit. He had a good stride and he was strong, and he was really unsettled, really stressed, really depressed, and ill at ease. You could just see nothing was relaxed, nothing was settling him really at all. His wife had tried everything, the staff had tried everything, the activities he didn't really click into. He'd always been a working man. Activities and arts and crafts were not his thing. He didn't really like reading. I think he had some problem with his vision, dyslexia, some sort of problem with dyslexia and also his vision. So reading was really difficult. So he got no pleasure from that. So it was becoming extremely difficult to know what to do, until his wife hit upon the favourite armchair. I actually discussed it with her. I actually did suggest it because I'd seen it. Well, being a physiotherapist anyway, you're geared to comfort and ergonomics and relaxation. And I'd worked a lot with relaxation with neck and shoulder injuries for 25 years, and relaxation is a big part of reducing neck pain. So I did suggest it to her, but she picked up on this. and she bought in his favourite armchair, a colossal great green leather armchair, all padded, you know, buttoned, and big cosy arms and wooden legs, and it was a massive great thing, claw feet, perfect. He sat in it. You could just see the tension completely just evaporated. He was in his favourite chair. Associated memories, associated comfort, actual relaxation. And he could breathe. He could lie back in that chair, have a snooze, relax, sit, talk to visitors, you know, king of his own domain in his lovely big green padded leather chair. It made such a difference. And she brought in the footstool as well. Well, that was the whole room gone. His legs stuck out, you know, halfway across the room. So all the space was used, doesn't matter. He could walk well, so the footstool wasn't a tripping hazard. It was leather bound as well, clawed feet, similar to the chair, the matching pair. So it was very sort of exotic looking. And he could just lie back on that chair, put his head back, because it had a padded headrest, and it was perfect for him. And the thing is, from that point on, he could relax in his chair, look out the view out the window, you know, look at his lovely pictures on the wall, say hi to people coming up and down the corridor, welcome his friends. You know, from that position, he was king of the castle, and it really, really made a big difference, because before that, he was subjected to having to lie on the bed, which was pretty uncomfortable, skinny single bed. You know, I mean, all he could look at was the roof from there. Whereas in the chair, he could see all his lovely pictures on the wall of, you know, his, that he had up of his yachting days and sailing days. The beautiful pictures of sea animals and him on the yacht and Mediterranean adventures. He'd travelled a lot. And also, but the main thing really was the interaction with people. From that position where he was sitting, he could see everyone coming and going, and the staff coming and going. Whereas if you're just lying on the bed, you know, you're sort of, it's a compromised position to try and speak to someone when you're lying on the bed. It's not the same as when you're speaking to someone eye to eye practically from your chair. I mean, because he was such a tall man and the staff were quite short, that actually meant that he was more eye to eye with the staff, with most of them being South Asian, Southeast Asian. He was eye to eye with them from the chair. Whereas when you're lying on the bed, it's out of balance. And when he was standing, he'd often have to bend down, or they'd have to look up, you know, to speak to him. So all around, that one beautiful green leather chair brought him a lot of solace. And it was from that point, actually, that his depression started lifting, his stress started lifting, and he was able then to garner some sense of self to be able to make that effort to be able to settle in the dementia unit, which he actually did from that point. He did very well indeed, that guy. And it was the beautiful green armchair and getting that comfortable, ergonomic, all-time favourite chair into his room that made all the difference and was the starting point for his progress. So I've written 2 books, The Resident's Voice and The Resident's Rise, both from a dementia unit, all about, you know, the residents and how they cope with all their challenges and you know, yeah, how they make opportunities out of their challenges, I think, is probably the best way of saying it. All their courage, all their efforts, marvellous people in what they've done. So it is good to be able to read the story of the dementia residents, and also the epilogues at the back of the books. Both books are the practical positive techniques for relatives to be able to help dementia residents, as well as these videos, of course, which I'm sharing here. So thank you for your subscriptions. Really, I so appreciate these comments and subscriptions. It feels like things are starting to come to life, being able to communicate with you out there. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And please subscribe if you're interested in this channel and gaining benefit, and pass on the link to others. Thank you.